I mean, I don't even know what happened. It literally was over before it even began. I've never felt like rage. But yeah, it hasn't really sunk in. I mean, it just feels like such a missed opportunity to be able to pull a really good result off. But for whatever reason, it wasn't meant to be. But law of averages is a thing, so whether it happens this year, next year, the goals haven't changed.
It gives me so much pride to race at home, for sure. Like I feel like it's a privilege to do that, and it's very precious, and I think I have to cherish it no matter what's the result.
Being able to be here and kind of be one of the fan favorites for some people is pretty neat. I think it adds to just the positive energy that you can channel into your racing.
We live in West Virginia and going to amazing Canada.
Taking tests on a all-American experience. That's what I have. Go get a stack of pancakes or waffles.
It's funny, as we're driving back from Snowshoe, I think we all had an audible sigh of relief when we crossed the border. We came across at the Thousand Islands border crossing, which is, I don't know, there's something scenic about it, which kind of adds to the coming home experience. I just think Canada's such a beautiful country. When we drove across, you kind of have that feeling of like, huh, this is a good place.
Good morning. It is, what day is it? Thursday. And we're at Mont-Sainte-Anne in Canada. I'm so excited to be back here. This is our, 27th time here in Mont-Sainte-Anne racing a World Cup, but we haven't been here for 2 years. So I think the energy and the people are pretty excited to be here as much as the riders are. This morning, Laurie and I are going to be doing the Red Bull course preview. They've made a bunch of changes. We're using a lot of the old track. We don't actually ride La Beatrice, which at first I was a little bit sad about because I love the famous La Beatrice, but they did do a really good job at making the track a really fun and busy, technical, classic Mont-Sainte-Anne racetrack that it always is. So we're gonna do the preview this morning, highlight a bunch of the main features. I haven't had coffee, Laurie hasn't had coffee, so this is a uncaffeinated version. Whew. What were we thinking? Anyways, stay tuned and we'll see you guys in a bit.
I love this course. It's my favorite course in the world. I know it very well. But I won't be too cocky because when I said that, I always crash.
So sorry, we are doing intro now?
No.
Or after?
So you do your lap first, and then reconvene after.
It's the lack of caffeine. I'm not awake yet. I slept for 10 hours. The longer I sleep, the longer it takes to wake up.
Yeah, we'll reconvene after and see what's what. But I like to do everything chronologically.
Hello everyone, I'm Emily Batty.
Salut, je suis Laurie Arsenault
From Canyon Mountain Bike Racing Team, and we're here in Mont-Sainte-Anne, Canada for World Cup round number 8.
Let's go take a look at the track.
Go. We're now heading into the first little bit of single track. Here we are at the Mercedes-Benz
La Marmotte.
It is one of the first features on the whole course that is one of the most physically demanding climbs from the bottom all the way to the top. Very steep toward the bottom, and then technical switchback climbs filled with roots and rocks in the corners.
Here we are at Québec, la voie Romain. It's one of the slippery section of the course.
Also the most narrow section of the whole track, so you have to make sure your pedals are balanced and your weight distribution is key because, like Lori said, it is one of the most slippery parts of the track, dry or wet.
Bienvenue à la Shimano La Patriote.
By far the most technical and intimidating parts of the track for the riders. Definitely you want to make sure you know your line in advance because these rocks are slippery. Even if the sun is shining, there's this algae that makes it extremely technical, so knowing your line is extra crucial. What I've noticed most about this new layout on the track is you can really preserve your speed.
So this is Québec La Perdrix.
This is one of the last fun features that the riders really enjoy looking to. You can kind of turn your mind off. It's a steep descent with a rolling chute, but a section we always look forward to racing. Now we're at the Victoria Graphene La Costa Rica section, which is the last feature leading into the finish line. It's a fast, flowy, few jumps behind me before we get into the last bit of the stadium. This finish sprint is actually in this climb here in the grass before we turn right into the finish line. All right, that's a lap on the Mont-Sainte-Anne World Cup track. Definitely one of the most difficult tracks on the circuit.
Thank you for riding with us. I hope to see you all this weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Canyon mountain bike racing, Emily Batty. Canyon mountain bike racing, Lori Arsenault. Team Jennifer Jackson.
That was really hard. I was like yo-yoing. I was with the lead group and then started dangling. And as the group sometimes would like pull away a bit on the climbs, I would fall back, and then sometimes they would lag on the flats. And I was just like trying to roll up and then just roll around to the front. So then when they go hard on the climbs again, I'm not like at the back already. So eventually I popped, but still ended up 14th. So second row. I think last time I was 16th, so slowly ratcheting it up. Thanks, man.
I mean, I don't even know what happened. It literally was over before it even began. I've never felt like rage. So we got to the top of the climb. I'm feeling good. Maybe 10th, 12th position. Rider on my left, we're going straight, and a rider on my right, number 30, takes in my front bar. She comes from this direction, takes in my front bar, bars cross over, snap my fork, and the race was over. Like there's literally, I don't even know what to say. I didn't even come down the hill the first time. I just ran off the bike. The bike just went out from under me, and that was it. Like, I've never felt so angry. Never felt so angry. you know, when things go good, it's so good, but when things go bad, it's like you have to find the good in it. And for whatever reason, I wasn't meant to race, but the feelings I have right now are very similar to how I felt after nationals. Like I have so much pent-up energy for racing XC. It's just such a shame. I just want to race so badly. I want a clean race. The girls did really well. I'm proud of them. And you know what I'm even more proud of? Is how tight this ship is being run. Everyone is, you just watched everyone, and I just admire how hard they're working, and yeah, it's just a shame I couldn't do my part today, but there's a reason. I truly believe there's a reason, and we'll make up for that.
So Emily succumbed to some pretty bad luck today. In doing so, the upper stanchion of the fork was completely severed, not allowing her to even continue to ride the bike. Simon and I came back for a quick, or I got started while Simon stayed in the tech zone to make sure the other two girls were covered. And I came back and got started changing the fork out so that she can go and do a race simulation now, just because the riders, they kind of plan and prep for this type of event in their training in order to prep them for Sunday. So we came back and did a really quick change on making sure she can get back on her bike and finish her ride while she's still pretty warm. And yeah, it's super crappy, and we all feel for her. There's a lot of work that goes into this whole thing, and for silly things like that to happen, it's really unfortunate, but we're gonna stay positive and use this energy for Sunday, because that's the big one, and we're going for it.
Planning to go out for the second part of women's training. There's 2 hours. I only plan to do a couple laps, so 10:30 to 11:30 rather than being right out there at 9:30. I would have done the mixed training that's like at 1 in the afternoon after the men finish, but they canceled it because of the downhill. They said it was like not safe to have cross-country training while downhill racing was happening, so I'm just going to chill a little bit now and go in the second half of women's training, just to let the lines bed in a little bit more. It'll still be different tomorrow, but just letting a little bit more traffic and just people ride it in, more representative of race time.
The way we're lined up right here as a rider with natural speed, it's just straight, I think, over, you know, just a little forgiving right there.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind that you're on dirt, so you can kind of get turned there while there's still traction before the wet, slippery rock.
Yeah, like as your wheel's going over the crest, you're turning just a little bit to set up for the next one.
Yeah, so you can kind of brake and control in the corner here before the rock, straight line the rock, and then just be really gentle and ginger on the rear wheel for that guy, and straight and straight. Yeah. This is good, but you're right, it does set you up for
I don't like how it sets you up for the trough down there, for sure.
Yeah, and you're turning on those big slippery slabs.
Well, and you're worrying about rotor catching going by, right? You're like turning partway
The
down.
mechanic in you're like, what is the equipment vulnerable to?
It's true.
It's 100% true. Very true. All right, let's do it. Nice. That felt really
That's
smooth and
don't
clean.
even think anymore.
Yeah, done?
Done.
Sweet. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
That one felt like we nailed it, and it was mindless. So at this point, I think, considering it is going to be wet, and just how it felt, I think that was definitely the line. Yeah, I think it's important to know your lines, know your potentially, you know, your second choice in case there is a crash or something, but to not overthink it.
dialed all my line with my friend Raph and my coach John and my friend Rox. So that was perfect for real. Like I find my flow on it. I think the condition will be very different tomorrow for the race. So let's see what life brings us and we will deal with it.
Well, good luck to your race tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
It's always important.
Thank you so much. So many fans here, the Canadians. You guys, yeah, you make this the best World Cup of the whole year, and it's you guys that, that really emphasize the energy behind what an incredible event this is here in Mont-Sainte-Anne, for Canada in general. And the team's doing well. I think everyone's ready to go tomorrow. It's just kind of the fine-tuned details in the evening for the mechanics, and then it's showtime tomorrow.
Being on the second row, this is like my third time being on the second row, and it's kind of neat because they call you up and you're actually lined up and you can see all the way down the Star Straight, because then they call in the top 8 and they just like filter in from the front after. So there's kind of that brief moment where you can just see exactly where you need to go. You can see exactly where you want to be. And you know, by the time when they take the tape away and they let us kind of push up a little bit, you're like half a wheel from the start of the race. And you know, if you choose wisely, you're behind a couple people who will just hit their pedal right away and off you go.
We're about to get the most historical of them all underway then. We're underway in Mont-Sainte-Anne for 2022. Minor day, out of the dust and crashing at the back. It's Emily Batty again. And that is Emily Batty, you're correct, but I don't believe it. Hard to believe. And cut her arm there. Emily not looking in good shape. Oh, such bad luck.
Wow. You know, this is racing here in Mont-Sainte-Anne, Quebec, Canada is one of the events that I kind of planned on peaking for and getting a good result. And physically, I knew I was there, and from a mental standpoint, I was definitely ready to be on that podium and hopefully take the top step today, but the law of averages is, you know, just really challenging my patience and my strength. So, I mean, that big crash right off the start, I feel like, yeah, I mean, it took me like 3 or 4 laps to really get back into the race, but still finishing 18th, and yeah, I want to express my gratitude for all the people here. For whatever reason, yeah, I'm meant to learn whatever lessons are to be learned in these races and these challenges. So, you know, the people that are here supporting myself and the other Canadians, the other riders, I think at times it's to celebrate victory, but also when things aren't going the way they should be going, or, you know, according to plan, then it's for pure support. And I think the love that I felt out there today, despite the crash off the start, was just as powerful as if I was winning the race. So I just want to say thank you to everyone.
I'm so proud of you. Again, what a tough cookie. Oh my god. The toughest cookie I know ever in the world.
Thank you.
Yeah. You did a great job and you can be so proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. Everyone is proud of you. You didn't disappoint anybody. Nobody. Yeah? Okay?
I'm coming off the caffeine high and I get the shakes and I get really like a weird head rush, so I'm eating my poke bowl while I get stitches in my elbow because I can feel nothing. I'm still in a flow state actually. I'll come off the high in like an hour from now. Maybe not because I'm eating. But yes, I'm getting, how many stitches? 3? 4. He insists we stitch it back up. Anyways.
A girl went down in front of me and I had to get my foot out and like popped a boa off my shoe. So I tried to get it back on, wouldn't go back on, so I had to stop in the pits for that. Just kind of misjudged my speed in the sand, which with the heavy rain got pretty loose, and then just kind of slid into a steep roll a little bit too fast and took a big trip down a very steep drop. So yeah, it's not how you want to have a race end. I still rode around and just let myself get pulled. I didn't think I should continue. I hit my helmet as well. So I'm just going to monitor for concussion symptoms, make sure the body's okay, and yeah, tough day out.
So I have a flat on the 2nd or 3rd lap, something like that. I bumped my wheel on the sharp rock and I went down on the Patriot and I crashed, and it took me a long time to go to the feed zone, the tech zone, to repair my flat. And after that I was just like dead inside and dead everywhere. So I was very emotional, like to see them and to see my niece, my nephew. It was just such a high, like whatever the result for me was a victory to just do what I love the most with the people I love the most. So that was a very high point in my life.